Make yourself at home. If you're just coming in, we will get started in just a little bit. Like a real little bit.
Good morning, Travis.
Good morning.
Hey, just to let you know while we're waiting on people, you were right. I am down to 163 now. So that 166 I was stuck at has moved on.
Yes, it comes off incrementally like that. Good job. Thanks for sharing. Great job. Yeah, I wished it was a straight line down, but it's more like a staircase down, isn't it?
It is.
That's how mine worked, and everybody else that I know that stuck with it. Yes, I have razor burn bad. Yeah, I got lazy this morning and I with a dull razor shaved my head and my face, so I have razor burn. Hey, Kimberly, you asked how do you join? We've got a lot of different things going on. Are you wanting to join Shibboleth or the shopping club? What are you trying to join? Is it Shibboleth you're trying to join, I'm assuming? All right, I'm gonna give you the link and you just go here and sign up. We're a ministry first and foremost, myshibboleth.com. And I believe it's 1995 right now. 1995. Can't beat that. People that they don't even have any idea what we offer because the price is so inexpensive. But it's the real deal. Teresa, y'all pray for me. I have been sick. Pray for her. I had to get some ice cream, and the clerk was rude to me. Yeah, y'all pray for Teresa. Hey, Vicky. Vicky's on Facebook in the members only group. No, Kimberly, good question. That's not monthly or yearly or weekly. That's a lifetime. You sign up and you get almost everything we offer. You get beginner journey, intermediate journey, and the Tiger's Eye journey. You get all of that for $19.95. You pay once right now, and that's it, lifetime. We do have Faithfully Fit. That's exclusive for members only. That's where we do the guaranteed live classes and offer a deeper dive into nutrition.
Hey,
Thank
Travis,
you.
can I ask while we're still waiting a question real quick?
You can.
I just ordered a package from the wellness company, including 3 bags of the GC control. Where do you get those recipes that you offer for
Well,
those?
I've written a bunch. There's a pretty good, I don't know where I put the second rollout, but the first rollout of recipes, which are all the good ones, is in Shibboleth Simplified. So let me grab that for you. And you just have to scroll down. You may even have it, but
Yeah, I seen them somewhere, but I can't remember where I seen them, and I didn't have the product at the time, so I didn't pay too much attention to them, unfortunately.
that's all right. Here you go. I think you just scroll down. I think they're all in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think those are also in the library. Lisa, if those recipes aren't in the library, would you put them in the library? Lisa and them's doing a good job of getting stuff added now that Sergey's, he got our Faithfully Fit level in order. If y'all have noticed, it's expanding already. And then they're adding recipes, adding a Faithfully Fit food library. I'll be teaching on that now that we're not having to build a brand new website for that. We have different types of days for those that want to do clean eating. I think one of the digs at the program is all the different type days. I think that's one of the beauties of it. They're not that hard to learn. It keeps it exciting. It keeps you being able to, with your state of mind, you can choose what type of day you want. They're all healthy. It's kind of that good, better, best philosophy. So with Faithfully Fit, you now have the Blessed Day and the Grace Day. And that's for those that are trying to eat clean. So that, it's my belief that it's really difficult to decide. Let me give you a better example than Blessed Days. It's really difficult to say, all right, I've been eating meat. Now, I'm not suggesting do this. Y'all know that I'm a meat eater. Just giving an example. People here they watch that movie, The Game Changers, that documentary, and all of a sudden they say, oh, I'm going to be a vegan. That's exciting. So they leave behind years of habits because of some documentary, and they jump on the bandwagon, and now they're going to be a vegan. Well, within a day or two, they realize physically, mentally, emotionally, they're not feeling well. Now, if they gave it more time, they would adjust, and it might be the right approach for them. They want the benefits of that, what they believe to be a plant-based diet. So they move over there, and then they get discouraged and disheartened because they couldn't live that way every day. They just gave up. So then it's right back to the old bad habits. I like all these different type days, because if I want to be plant-based tomorrow because I watched the Game Changers, I can do that day, and I don't feel like a failure if I just do that one day. And then over the course of the week with my weekly timing chart, maybe next week, maybe I was only able to have one plant-based day this week. Well, next week I can go for two, because there are benefits to just having one day that's a healthier approach than what you were doing, because it was every day there was a problem. So like in my week on my chart, you might see 2 lion days. You might see a tiger 16 day. You might see a regular perfect day where I had 3 meals and a snack and none of it was clean, but I controlled insulin. What we're accomplishing with our program, one day I know God is going to take this program and heal hundreds of thousands of people mentally, because we are mental. We live in a diet mentality. I seen a post yesterday where a lady said, I'm so not in our group at all. It was it didn't have anything to do with our group. I seen our members chiming in, and our members weren't telling them about Shibboleth. That was weird. But members that have done good with Shibboleth and lost their weight were talking about other programs. I don't know why. But anyway, it was a friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing. And this lady made her post and said, it's so much confusion out there, I don't know what to do. And oh my gosh, I bet there was 50 different messages or comments telling the right approach. And it boiled down to peptides, or it boiled down to get a nutritionist, or it boiled down to get a dietitian, or keto. Keto was very popular. Vegan, plant-based was very popular. None of that stuff works unless it controls something. What is that we need to be controlling? One of these days, everybody's going to see the link, the connection.
Insulin and having a calorie deficit.
Yeah, that's it. It's calorie management, depending on your goal, calorie management and insulin control. Insulin is a growth hormone, and you're going to grow. You're going to grow. If you don't eat enough calories and you're not controlling insulin, you're not going to lose the right kind of mass. Insulin is a growth hormone. It's a fat storage hormone. So if a plant-based diet is working, it's because for weight loss, it's because of insulin control. If a carnivore program is working, it's because of insulin control. In fact, they have done studies now on all these different diets with these groups. They take groups, placebo groups, et cetera, given some pills and potions and others just different regimens. They've done all this, and you know what? They found no link to longevity per program, none. The only link to longevity is insulin control. Everything else is for this right here. Growth hormone, and understanding the other hormonal pathways in the body like ghrelin and leptin. So if your ghrelin levels are off the chart, your appetite's going to be off the chart along with insulin being up. If your leptin levels are up, you'll control your appetite, but most people that are overweight, their leptin levels are inadequate, so they stay hungry all the time. How do you fix this? Only way you can fix it is with insulin control. So you can eat clean and live a longer, healthier life, but not, I mean, if you're eating clean and you're eating sugar and starch all the time, you're not going to live any longer than if you're not eating clean. It's all about insulin. What do I say to people taking diabetic shots? What is going to happen when they stop taking the shots? Kind of like when I put back with Thrive and they sent me to Santa Barbara and they colored my hair. Does anybody remember that? That was terrible. I had salt and pepper hair, and they said, we got to make you look younger. Got to send you to a speech coach because this will never get outside of Georgia with the way you talk. So they were going to get me hooked up with Oprah Winfrey's producer, and they dyed my hair black. They dyed it jet black. And I felt like such a fake. But once I got used to it, used to looking at it, I kept it. No, I'm not kidding. It's a true story. Back in the Thrive days, Sasha, if she was here, would tell you, she would remember. Flew me out to Santa Barbara to meet with one of Oprah's producers because Thrive was a big thing back then. And they dyed my hair black, jet black. And sure did. They wanted to do some Botox. Didn't do that, but I did let them put that in my hair. So I kept that black stuff in my hair for about a year. And when I finally stopped dyeing my hair, was my hair still about 50-50 salt and pepper? Nope. It was going gray the whole time. It didn't matter. That's a whole sermon to preach right there. So I kept it black, but when I stopped dyeing it, it wasn't how I left it. Are you with me? It had turned 75%. Now it's 100% white, but it had turned 75% white. And it looked like I got old overnight. People thought, oh my gosh, what happened to Travis? You know, did you see a ghost? What happened? Well, it was going underneath that dye. It was going gray. I just kept it covered. Well, what's going to happen when they stop taking these shots? They're just going to put the weight back on because they're not relying on a practical, sustainable, and fun lifestyle that they can live with forever that controls insulin and manages calories and preserves muscle. So as soon as they stop taking it, it's just like these shakes that I teach right now. Please replace 2 eating episodes with these shakes. You'll lose more weight. But what happens if you come out of that, you get tired of the shakes and you don't know how to eat right? You're going to put the weight right back on. These folks that start every year, I had a lady, this is 3 or 4 conversations a day right now. I had a lady literally crying because she lost 1.5 pounds and she's seeing people lose 10 pounds in a week. And the thing is, I'm not trying to get on to anybody that's losing 10 pounds in a week, but y'all know the struggle that you've had, right? So you lose the 10, you put it back. You lose the 10, you put it back. You have to have a daily approach. I had to convince her she's actually doing better than someone who's lost 15 pounds in a week, who will then take off a week and then come back another week. And it looks like they're losing 10 pounds a week when in fact they're taking every other week off. Not knocking anybody that's doing that. I'm just saying it's consistency. We need consistency and diligence. Let me just, since the Holy Spirit's leading in a different way, let me throw this at you. Okay. So we do need a practical, sustainable lifestyle. If you don't enjoy the process, let me say that again. If you don't enjoy the process, that's like saying if you don't enjoy your eating lifestyle, you're wasting time. It's a complete and utter waste of time to do this. So those people that hate the process, it's like, I hate this, but I've got to lose weight. You're never going to lose weight and you're never going to keep it off. Hard talk, plain talk is easily understood. You will never do this. Nobody's going to make you do it. Patricia just came in. Her and Lee love each other. Been married for years. They love each other. I know them personally, so I'll pick on them. They love each other. But I guarantee you that Lee cannot and will not make Patricia do this, even if she put on 60 pounds. He might mention it and get in trouble, but he is not going to make her do it. She has to want to do it. This is something that you've got to want to do, right? You got to want it. Now, what happens when I'm going through a process that I hate? Does time go by slow or fast, Angela? It goes by really slow, doesn't it? Anytime we're in pain or have convinced ourselves that we're in pain, and pain is relative, by the way, pain's relative. Anytime that we believe or perceive that we're going through pain, a painful process, it seems like every day it's going by so slow. Where if we're enjoying something, we just tuck it away. We don't worry about it. We enjoy it and time goes by fast. So if anything, you've got to convince yourself that you enjoy this. I remember when I first got married, my dad said, when I was young, too young, he said, son, there's going to be days y'all don't love each other. And I said, oh, we're always going to love each other. He said, nope. He said, you got to get up and you got to go, I love my wife. I love my wife. He said, there's going to be days that you hate your job and you got to go, I love my job. I love my job. You have to talk yourself into it and then it'll come back. The feeling will come back. Every day you've got to talk yourself into this and not out of this. So I enjoy this process. I don't think about it anymore. I don't make my breakfast if I'm eating bread. I don't even think about food anymore. I don't even think about it anymore, y'all. And I live for food. But I ask my mom's here. She's constantly come up here and eat with us. And I'm like, I ain't even thought about no food. And that used to be what I live for. It takes conditioning. But food, if I eat my breakfast, I'm not going, I wished I could have had a Martin's biscuit. I don't focus on what I cannot have. I focus, or what I'm missing out on. I focus on what I'm eating and how much I like it and how blessed I am. And the time just goes by so fast. So pleasure, we want pleasure. We don't want pain. Well, Travis, I can't help it. I'm in pain. Then go ahead and eat whatever you want, as much as you want, and as often as you want. Go ahead and do that. Okay, you have this option and you have this option. You can't eat, and I'm gonna hush in a minute, I promise. You cannot have the mentality that I'm going to eat what I want, when I want, as much as I want, and I want the weight to stay off, and I want to be healthier, and I want to feel good about myself. Can't have both. You cannot have both. That when I agreed with self, I can't have both. I found more pleasure in eating right and getting those benefits than eating wrong and living with the unintended consequences. And it's a daily thing. Which is it going to be for you? Because I promise I will turn it over for questions before we move on to anything else. But I got to say this because there's people that need to hear it today. You need to hear it. You're miserable. You don't have to raise your hand unless you want to, but how many here are miserable trying to lose weight? You just want to wake up and it be gone. You're tired of it. I want it off. I'm just miserable with this whole weight loss process. It causes me anxiety. I just want the weight gone. Can we do that already? Well, you're just going to put it back on because you didn't learn anything, right? I know that's what we want, but you cannot have that. So you've got lifestyles, you got a crossroads. And I believe this with all my heart. I think I told Brother Charles this a year ago. I've told others this. If you can't make the decision, you're better off to be as fit as you can be, walk, exercise, but eat whatever you want, as much as you want, as often as you want, and be at peace with that. Life is too short.
Yes, sir. More than once.
It's too short for you to spend. If you live to be 80 years of age, if you live to be 100, let's do 100 because Patricia, she's tearing that up. Let's go 100. My mama was 100. If you live to be 100 and you have to spend 60 or 70 of those years fighting food addiction and obesity and all those medications that go along with it, and you're constantly having the diet mentality, what kind of life was that? So at some point you say, I love food and I don't care. I know that I'm going to deal with the unintended consequences of it. I got chewed out after yesterday's lesson. Chewed out. Lady quit. Wants a refund. Quit. Gone. She can't be here because she was mad. If she's here, she shouldn't be here. Because she got mad and chewed me out and said that food addiction and gluttony is not sin. And I said, well, what is your definition of sin? I'm sorry I offended you. My definition is I missed the mark that God set for me, and God has set a high mark for me because God wants me to be healthy and happy. He's a good daddy. She took it as I was saying she had done something bad. So the point here is that if you can live with knowing that you've missed the mark purposefully your entire life, and you're just going to give yourself over, you're not going to fight the fight because it's killing you, then go ahead and do that. So like one lady told me, I don't agree. I'm not saying I agree with this. She said, I'm getting a new body in heaven anyway. And I said, well, you go on with your bad self. That's awesome. I like that. At least you're coming to terms with it. And you're at peace with it. But you've got to decide here today, can I be at peace with myself if I don't try to take care of my temple? And then just decide and do it. That's what I did. I yo-yo dieted too for years. I'd lose 20 or 30, put it back on. When I finally decided, let me do it, y'all. Let me do it the majority of people's way. Losing weight, I don't believe this, by the way. Losing weight is hard. Me being over 300 pounds was a lot harder than doing what I need to lose it. Okay? Plain talk. Make a decision. Stick to the decision. It's not easy to do because your husband, your wife, your children, your coworkers, they are not going to make you do it. They're not going to stay on you about it. Nobody loves you enough to do that. Sorry. Nobody loves Travis Martin enough to make Travis take care of himself. Even my own mama. If I'm going to sit down here and feed myself to death, at some point she's going to be laissez-faire. She's going to say, I can't help him. Nobody loves me enough to force me to take care of myself, to bathe myself, to shave, to keep myself warm. After a while, people get tired of doing that. If you're not going to love yourself enough, why do they need to love you enough to take care of you? So make the decision. Love yourself. This is a love issue. This is a self-care and love issue. You have to care for yourself, and that is not selfish. If I don't take care of myself, if I know me better than I know Patricia, I know me better than I know Angela, I know me better than I know Chris, I know me better than I know Joy Beth, I know me. I don't know them like I know me. If I can't show myself grace, if I can't love myself, what does it say about my love for them? It ain't much. I can only love someone up to the capacity that I have love for myself. You've got to take care of yourself for those around you, not just yourself, but those around you too. I'm going to stop. I'm preaching at you. Any questions or comments? If someone doesn't want help, they shouldn't be here. That's right, Dan. Amen. I agree. And what it is, they do want help. Y'all know, right? People do want help, but they don't want it bad enough to let go and just start new, start fresh on the right cornerstone. Be teachable, coachable. I pride myself on being teachable and coachable when somebody's trying to teach me something. And I have to let my pride and ego go at times. I'm not going to, here's another problem. Stop taking advice from people not doing better than you in a specific area. I am not going to take financial advice from a homeless person. That doesn't mean they can't help me in other areas. I am not going to take advice from somebody who is not on a wellness journey themselves and it's apparent that they're not. I'm not going to take that advice. Get your advice from somebody and then be teachable, coachable with whoever's better in a certain area. I'm listening to Dave Ramsey about my finances. I'm not listening to somebody not doing at least as good as I am. Same thing for my weight loss and wellness. We're listening. How many times do you see on Facebook people battling? I'm not saying you don't have anything to offer, but battling, especially if you're on the journey. At times during the weight loss journey on the downslope, you actually have more to offer because the temptation's greater. But if you're really not taking care of yourself, like I went to the gym the other day here in New Harley, and there was somebody in there training somebody. They did not look healthy, but they were training somebody. How many times do you see people who are life coaches, they've got certified and they can't figure it out themselves? So we take our advice in a given area and then from somebody doing well, and then we humble ourselves and listen. That's why we have two of these, one of these. Anybody else? Yes, that's right, Carol. Carol says that's true of our doctors too. I couldn't agree more. It's sad sometimes. Well, and a lot of it is they do have a lot of wisdom. They're not taking care of themselves first. Got to do it. Several times I wake up during the night with major hunger, pains, and I cannot go back to sleep. I am miserable. Can I have a pickle or drink just a little bit of juice to stop the pain? So I got to work with you there. Okay, this will be good for everybody. Gail, number one, do you have your journal complete so that I could look at it right now with you? And could I do that in front of everybody? Next, here we've got to look at this first. Before I answer that, I cannot answer that without saying this. Okay, is it physical hunger? Are you getting your ideal weight times 8 in calories, Gail? Are you getting your ideal weight times 8 in calories? Well, then that's why you're hungry. See how easy that was? We just fixed it. You have to increase your protein intake. I could look at it, but now I don't need to. If you know that you're not getting your ideal weight times 8 in calories and you're hungry, then get more calories in. Have that meal be a little more saturated with protein. Cook it in an MCT oil to give yourself some energy. That's your problem. That's why you're waking up hungry. because your ideal weight times 8, does everybody realize that we need to eat for the size that we want to be? So when I was over 300 pounds, I wanted to be 200 pounds. So at 300 pounds, I needed 3,000 calories a day to maintain. To be 200 pounds, I needed, I go a little under the number 10, so I go with 8. I needed about 1,600 calories to lose weight every single week on my way to 200 pounds. Okay. Anything under 1,600 with enough protein was good. So when I started, do you think that 300-pound Travis got hungry? Yes. I wasn't eating to sustain 300 pounds of mass anymore. So you're going to have times that you're hungry, no doubt about it. But there's no need to suffer greatly when you can have up to 3 eating episodes and up to your ideal weight times 8 in calories. You still have to control insulin. Now, I would not get those calories from sugar and starch. I would get them from healthy fats. So how I do that, I don't change the size of my portion plate, but I add extra clean fuel in the form of MCT oil. That gives you more energy and helps with satiation.
Travis.
You do multiply, Gwen, your ideal weight times 8. And then once you reach your ideal weight, it's ideal weight times 10 to maintain that weight. But combinations, we never ignore the shield unless I give you a meal plan. So you still have to have the right combinations, because if you're just adding any kind of calorie, we're going to spike insulin levels. I heard somebody start talking. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
That's okay. I was just going to say, my ideal weight would put me at 1,000 calories a day. I'm eating a lot less than that. Is that still okay? Because I'm trying to lose as much weight as quickly as I can. So that's why I'm doing that. I'm hardly eating anything.
Here's the rule for that. Okay. That's really a good approach as long as you're getting enough protein in to preserve muscle. And then it's better to get some activity in to preserve muscle. The 2 things that preserves muscle is protein and activity. So what is your ideal weight?
125.
You need to be trying to get in 60 grams of protein a day. If you're getting in 60 grams of protein a day, it doesn't matter to me how low you go, as long as you don't permanently restrict them to that low level. But to do that a week or 2 at a time will give you momentum, but it'll also help you with your overall wellness, because you're spending obviously more time fasting. But as long as you're not hungry and not suffering and you're getting adequate protein, it's not a problem.
Already? Oh, I don't know about that.
Hope that made sense. For folks wanting protein calculations, Faithfully Fit, you're about to have calculators in there where you can figure out what your carbs should be, your protein should be. Remember though, we stick with the simple shield. Don't get it overcomplicated or overcomplicated. If your goal is to lose body fat, you need 0.5 gram up to 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight. So if my ideal weight is 120 pounds lean, not including fat, then I need 60 to 120 grams of protein during the weight loss phase to preserve muscle. And if you're exercising, you won't have any problem preserving muscle. Diana, I seem to have a hard time getting enough calories. That's a good problem to have, because most people are struggling with getting too many calories. So it's a good problem to have. And then that way, when you're hungry, you can always add more clean calories. Notice I said clean. So that's a good problem to have. That's not a problem. That's one to praise God and thank God for, because the majority of people here are struggling with getting too many calories. And the other thing that you have to consider is not your daily calorie intake. Let me throw this at y'all. Will y'all promise, because after a while when I talk, people tune me off. Will y'all chime back in? This is a teaching moment. Will you chime back in? I need you to chime back in. This is important.
I haven't turned you off. I'm listening intently.
This one's critical.
Me too.
It's not your daily calories that you should be concerned with. It's your weekly. Because we have people that'll get 500 calories a day, and they are intently trying to get to their goal at light speed. And let's say that they're only getting in 500 calories, they're getting in enough protein, they're content with the growling stomach because they love losing it fast. Now, let's say that we're talking about a lady who's going to end up at her ideal weight, very petite, and is going to be 120 pounds. To maintain 120 pounds, she can only have 1,200 calories a day, but she's on 500. Are y'all with me? She's at 500. So let's say for 6 days, she's at a 500 calorie deficit. That's 3,000 calorie deficit in 6 days. How many calories are stored in a pound of fat?
3,500.
3,500. So in 6 days, she feels, does that lady who ate 500 calories a day, does she feel she's putting in max effort and proud of herself and her discipline great? Yep. So she's 3,000 calorie deficit. She's lost some fluid. She's lost some glucose, but she's lost some fat. And on her body, she's lost almost one of these. 3,000 calories is short of 3,500, but she's lost about this much fat around off her thighs, her waist, her butt. She's proud of herself. Now she's going out with her husband on Saturday night, and they go to the Mexican restaurant. And at the Mexican restaurant, she's rewarding herself with deep fried flour chips that's spiking insulin, and she's dipping it in nothing but pure fat with Mexican cheese dip, and she's eating that. She just ate those chips with her husband, and there was 1,200 calories she just took in right there. Then she orders the fajitas that are drowned in vegetable oil, heavy fat, with the tortillas, with the cheese dip, with the salsa. She just had 3,000 calories. So now she's had 4,200 calories. Then she says, you know what? I did so good this week. I'm going to have me some refried ice cream. I'm not going to let him sit there and eat it without me. Now she's at 6,000 calories. That week.
In one eating episode?
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Wow.
Yep. You can go to McDonald's and one of those Big Mac meals with French fries, like 3,200 calories. So if you go to a Mexican restaurant, imagine, and they're drowning it. Look at those fajitas. They're drowned in vegetable oil that's pure fat. So now that lady who worked so hard all week just got in such a calorie surplus, it negated all of her hard work. Then a couple of days later, she gets on the scales, even after the 2 days, and she's back in EFB. She gets on the scales, and it's like, what happened? I'm right back where I started. And it's a vicious cycle. So what does that tell us? That tells us lifestyle, and that food is not to be trifled with. We have to stop using food as the thing that is our greatest pleasure in life. One more thing, I'm gonna let Patricia speak. I want you to think about something. You say, well, then what's the joy of life? Isn't it time that you find joy in the Lord? Isn't it time you find joy in your relationships? What would have been wrong in going to that Mexican restaurant, taking your chips in, dipping them in salsa, and then having 3 soft chicken tacos, throw away their shells, use your shell, and you still enjoyed it, and you were under your calories? And then every week we're dropping 2-3 pounds of fat. So it's all a thought process. We've got to stop looking at food until we get to maintenance. Once you get to maintenance, there's nothing wrong with going out and having a blowout like that. But you're not in maintenance. Are y'all with me? You're not in maintenance. You have to be tough with yourself. You have not earned that right yet. Okay? That was tough, I know. Patricia, go ahead. We need to unmute you. Can you unmute?
Unmute. I'm 83 years old, and on January 30th, I celebrate my 9th Shibby anniversary, so I will be beginning my 10th year. At my age and with hypothyroidism, I don't remember when I went to a Mexican restaurant and ate a hog trough meal like that, a 6,000 calorie. Usually when I go to the Mexican restaurant, I forego the chips or take my own. It's no big deal on the chips. I have even eaten salsa with a spoon. Anyway, I order shredded lettuce and shredded chicken. And there's no fat in that chicken. It's just shredded chicken and lettuce, and I put salsa on it. And the only reason I said something is because maintenance, I have to focus just as much as I did when I was losing weight. It's just I don't have the celebration, the excitement of the weight loss and people, oh, you look so good, you're losing weight. I don't have that anymore. And right now I worked really hard to get down to the bottom of my range, which I haven't been in a long time. I've been sitting at the 5-pound top. So what I'm saying is, if you decide, go ahead and do it, but don't think you're through with it. It really is a lifestyle if you want to live in freedom from the food and the control of food in your life. And if you want to be healthier and live in wellness. No. Am I well from everything? No, I'm not. But good grief, where would I be if I were still 50 plus pounds bigger? And I had gone up and down half a dozen times different ways, but I never, ever adopted it as sustainable. So please remember, for your freedom, for your wellness, for what you want to look like, to just decide it and do it, because food is food. And anyway, I don't know why I felt I had to say that, but for me, I guess I had to say that because I am at the bottom of my range now, where I haven't been for 3 years. So that's exciting. Was it easy? Not necessarily. Did I eat everything I wanted to eat? Not necessarily. Last night I went to a women's event. This isn't bragging. This is just a share what it may take. I went to a women's event, and in my big container, I took my bio coffee, Coca-Ringa, and hot chocolate. And I did not eat the meal that they were going to put down in front of me, or the piece of pound cake they already had sitting in front of me. I just said, no, thank you. And I sat there and drank my dinner. So sometimes it just takes what it takes. So anyway, y'all enjoy the taking what it takes and do it. Anyway, have a great day.
Wow.
Love you.
Wow. Love you. How about a big round of applause for that? That was awesome. That's why we love this family. What wisdom. And again, the kind of wisdom that everybody should listen to, because somebody she's done it. Okay. She's not in 10 years. That's why she's a black buff. Great job, Patricia. Great job. I want to show you something on the whiteboard that may help you, because I seen some folks somewhere, I forget which platform I'm looking like, this is not good, that I can't enjoy food. I want to show you something real quick though. We get short-sighted, don't we? Okay, this is my week, sat Monday through Sunday. Okay, this is my week. That's why I do a weekly timing chart. It just tells us how much time we spent in EFB. But I'm at my goal weight. Okay, I'm at my goal weight. I paid the price. I can still enjoy food as long as I don't go back to old bad habits. It's not that depressing. We get so short-sighted about this. So when I'm saying you can't, you know, if you take in 500 calories a day, but go out to the Mexican restaurant one night and have a holiday, you've just erased all that. You're getting short-sighted. You're thinking, see, I can't ever enjoy food again. No, let's say that I go on a cruise and it's one of those cruises with the buffet, free food everywhere. And let's just say that I take in 7,000 calories a day all the way through the week. 7,000 a day. Stuff myself every day to the point I am just sick of food all week. That is 7,000 times 7 is 49. Let's see, 7,000 times 7 is 40. Am I doing that right? 7,000 calories a day times
49,000.
7 is 49,000 calories that I took in. So for my body, I needed 2,000 a day. So I needed 2,000 to maintain at my weight. So that's 14,000 I've got to take off. 0, 0, 0. I would never do this, by the way. I'm just showing you illustratively. That's 35,000 calories. So in that week, I'm going to put on 10 pounds. Do y'all see that? I'm in a 35,000 calorie surplus. I just went and had the time of my life. I'm supposed to be at 200 pounds. So I'm at 185 right now. I'm underweight. I just went on and put 10 pounds, having the time of my life, and I'm back up to 195, still underweight. Then when I get back home, I'm right back on the lifestyle, and this is dropping like a rock. Do y'all see the difference? Do you see what I'm trying to say? I can enjoy it. I can do something ridiculous, but I've already lost my weight. And when I get home, am I excited to get back to feeling lean and clean? Yes, because that's my real lifestyle. I'm not thinking, well, I got to start all over again because I was at 300 and then I got down to 280, went on a cruise and pigged out, and I'm right back to 300. It's not like that for me anymore. And it won't be like that for you if you'll spend the requisite time to get the weight off. Does that make sense? So don't be so short-sighted. We're not all supposed to be hanging out here together in weight loss mode. Let me repeat that again. Most everybody here is sitting here year after year hanging out in weight loss mode. We're not supposed to be hanging out here. We're supposed to get fired up, get it done. Everybody in the Shabola family could have all of their weight off in less than 6 months, except for a small percentage. And when I looked at the numbers last, before the first of the year, we had some people that it would take a year. Big deal. You're going down the whole time if you would just stay with the lifestyle, you know? Crazy. We had a guy last year, Sandy, he lost more than 250 pounds in less than a year. Don't tell me you can't do it. Anybody else questions or comments?
Travis, what are some good void replacements if you do get hungry, if you're not eating a whole lot like I am? Because I don't want to rely on meals until I lose this weight.
Yeah, so for me, it is sliced cucumbers with apple cider vinegar, salt and pepper on them. I love that. I used to eat a lot of sugar-free Jell-O. I don't anymore. I try not to graze it all, but like if I needed something to just taste, it would be something like that. Now, are you talking about 0-calorie stuff? Or are you talking about like snacks? Because if you have snacks, I'm doing the Health Smart peanut butter patties. I'm doing the Attain Crave Blocker bar. If I can have calories. Now, if I'm needing to graze on something, I'm grazing on freebies. But void replacements for me, usually it's going to be something salty or it's going to be something sweet. So Health Smart peanut butter patties with some carb, Breyers Carb Smart ice cream. I like to take the Oreos, the Linealary Oreos, crush them up in Breyers Carb Smart ice cream. Salty stuff, I love Double Bites and Bonitos. That's usually what I'm thinking. but you still have to control your eating episodes. Whatever it is though that you like, let's say that you like an almond joy bar, then you got the one almond bliss called One. Oh yeah, One almond bliss tastes just like that. If you're looking for a whatchamacallit, you're looking at the ProFlex bar. If you're looking at something like a Baby Ruth, then you're looking at the Fit Crunch bar. If you're looking for a wafer bar, you got the Shibola protein wafers or the Power Crunch bars. So whatever it is that you're craving, we have probably found a void replacement. Like lately, I've been craving Kraft mac and cheese. So I use Advanced Health Systems mac and cheese. So there's a void replacement for almost everything.
Well, this is probably going to sound silly, but to be honest with you, because losing this weight is so important to me, I'm hungry, but I'm scared to eat because I want to lose this weight. I've never been like that before when wanting to try to lose weight until now. But I know not eating is not good for you either.
Well, it is good. Now I'm different than when I started. So for me, it's my line is in the sand. I will not eat more than 3 times a day. I will not do it. I will not graze. I will not pick. And I've gotten to a point now, and again, I keep referring to my mom. It sounds almost unbelievable, but she lives beside me and she'll tell you, I just won't do it. I don't want it. It takes conditioning. So not eating is one of the best things that we can do if we're not doing it to lose weight. If not eating to exhibit discipline, to keep your digestive system working, fasting 16 hours a day, to me is the minimum that everybody should fast. I am not going to eat. I don't care if it's cucumbers. If I eat cucumbers, now I'm not saying that everybody should start like this because I didn't. If I eat raw cucumbers, that's an eating episode. I'm not eating again till it's time to eat. And it's a conditioning. So it's part of what we're up against here, and I know that we all know this, is the habit of grazing and feeling like we need that something going on all the time. Then it drives you crazy because you're so used to it, now you can't, and it's withdrawals. Your biggest ally is a busy mind. There's a reason that the Bible says an idle soul will suffer hunger. Because the minute we get idle, and there's that scripture about where all the demons were driven out and the room was cleaned up. What do we do every time we start a diet? And I'm not talking to Deanna. There's people here that need to hear this. Probably not Deanna. She's doing good. But what happens every time we start a diet? This is the kind of talk that makes people mad, but you're dealing with strongholds and evil spirits. And you're getting them out of your house. You're getting them out of this house. You're cleaning up. You're ready to do your diet. You're ready to get your life back. But you didn't replace what you drove out of there with something good. So now you're white knuckling it. And before you know it, you're back to food addiction worse than ever before. Just like what the Bible said, the demons, they know that there's room for rent and they come back and they're even worse this time. How many of you, you don't have to raise your hand, but how many of you have experienced that? You thought you had this thing, you were gritting it out, disciplining it out, but you never changed what you focused on. You have to stay busy. Find something to do that's productive and positive, because if your day's going by fast, you're going to lose weight. If you the people here that struggle the most, God bless them, they're sedentary or lonesome. That's the ones that struggle the most. Those of us that can get busy, got to get busy. There's people that we've lost through the years to death because, and I understand it, they were up in the years, lost their mate. They were sedentary for too long to the point that they couldn't get up anymore, do very much, and they were lonesome. And when you're sedentary and lonesome, it's going to be drugs, alcohol, or food, or all. We've literally lost brothers and sisters. I won't name names. Thank God they're on the other side of glory. with Jesus. But I'm just telling you that if you're still able, if you're lonesome or sedentary, you better get your tail up and get to moving. And then before you know it, you're moving, you're feeling better, then go take some dance lessons, go to water aerobics, go socialize. But you have to get food off your mind. Have to. Pickleball.
Amen.
Yes, pickleball is great.
It's like with me, Brother Travis. I do good during the day. I don't, like you say, I don't hardly think about food until I get hungry. I want something, but late in the evening, after you get the grandbabies took care of, homework done, bath, you just kind of sitting around and watching a little TV. That's when it hits for me. And it ain't really hunger, it's mental hunger. It's,
Yeah.
maybe even boredom, I just want something.
Yeah. Yeah. And Gina's saying a Bible study. We're social beings. We need socialization and connection. She said pickleball. I could take Charles, get Charles back to walking, and before you know it, Charles will be in a pickleball league. We give up on ourselves, and we should not do that. We got to keep moving forward. We're talking about the difference between life and death for some, and at lonesomeness and boredom will get you. The other night, I was a little lonesome, and I did get food on my mind. And I didn't even think about this one, Deanna. I did eat when I wasn't supposed to. You know what I ate? I got some steamed cauliflower, riced cauliflower out of the freezer, and I steamed it, and then I put salsa all over it, salt and pepper. I just had a rice substitute. Did that count as a snack, everybody? What was that?
A meal,
It was a freebie.
a freebie.
I had too many episodes, but look at what, and it was delicious. It was like having rice with salsa all over it. And I had it right before bed. Forgot about that. But so I deal with it too. But that's where you got to know, okay, I can have this and it's not a setback. Because all I was wanting was something to put in my mouth while I sit there by myself watching television, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sandra says, when my husband passed and then my mother, after the friends and family left, the silence would have killed me, but God. Amen. We can all say, but God, can't we? But God shows up. New Testament on January the 1st. I have the plan if anyone would like it. 1 chapter a day. Finishes December the 1st. Awesome. Let's see, a couple of Q&As. Chris, can you remind me how to add fiber-wise to the Cheddar Bay biscuit mix? Let me see. I don't have, can I grab it real quick? It'll take me 15 seconds to grab it, and then I'll tell you. Maybe that was 20 seconds. So I've got my Red Lobster. You can tell I like them. Okay, so we've got in here, we have got 10 servings. So got to be careful. That's basically, if I round up, 200 carbs in that box. So I need 5 to 10, depends on the texture that you like. 10 scoops, if you can tolerate it, would shut the fat bus down, but they're going to be a little dried out. If you use 5, that will be sufficient. I think I usually use 6 to 7 scoops. I've been playing around with it.
For the whole box?
Yeah, for the whole box. Yeah.
You just add that fiber-wise flour to the mix?
Yep. That's all. Let me remind myself. So I've got biscuit, I got cold water. I add Sargento reduced fat cheese instead of the regular cheese. I use the biscuit mix, ghee butter instead of regular butter. and that's it. And then I add the fiber wise and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I made biscuits with the Carb Quick and Fiber Gourmet and used the ghee to cut it in, and they were pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I've even had those biscuits as a meal because I wanted to. They're high in
Right.
calories. So like if I take two large heavy biscuits with cheese in them, that's a meal. But what I like to do is have those biscuits and then have my fish or something on the side. Then I've got two small biscuits or one large biscuit because they're very filling. That fiber is going to shut down your appetite too. But then you've got a great meal there. And I just put the biscuits in a Ziploc, put them in the fridge, and then I've got them for 3 or 4 days.
What's the difference between FiberWise and GC Control?
One is a protein shake. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna put her on the spot again. My mom gave me some chocolate chip cookies. She's not here, so good. She'd get mad at me, keep putting her to work. She made some chocolate chip cookies with GC Control and FiberWise, and they were outstanding. I got to get the recipe from her. They were amazing.
Oh
Chewy.
yeah, share that one.
Oh my gosh, they were good. And she used almond flour, GC Control, and FiberWise. She turned them into like fat blasting chocolate chip cookies. She's a talent. But back to Linda, GC Control is not a flour. That's your meal replacement powder. And as soon as you use one of our recipes or mix a approved liquid with it, you activate its protein. Then it's ready to drink, and that's going to help you preserve muscle and get your meal episode in. A meal episode that controls insulin. FiberWise is a fiber-based flour where you can make baked goods with it. And by making baked goods with it, you'll be able to have some things you couldn't normally have. Like Bob's Red Mill has clean pancakes. They have clean chocolate chip cookies. You can't have those, even though they're clean. If you're trying to lose weight, they're going to spike your sugar. But I can take FiberWise flour and add it to Bob's Red Mill or add it to those biscuits. And then I'm slowing down that insulin activity from that flour or that mix. They're two different products. They're not the same. GC Control is a meal replacement shake.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Those
There are
biscuits,
two different kinds of FiberWise though, right? There's one that you drink and then one that you bake with.
yeah, there's one that I put in like Greek plain yogurt and turn it into a super yogurt. So I'll take the Granny Smith apple one and put it in my yogurt, and that's good. Or I drink it. You can drink it, and it's just a flavored beverage I can put with my Spark or whatever I want to get my fiber from. Or if I need to increase my fiber, I put it with any approved beverage, any approved item that it tastes good with, those flavors. I think there's 2 or 3 flavors. I've only gotten the apple. It's good though. It tastes good. And then there's the FiberWise flour that's for your biscuits, your pancakes, your cookies, etc., bread, whatever you're trying to make. The biscuits, I think I've said 2 or 3 different things, but they're best as a superfood. They're best to count as a category 6. Superfoods contain all of the macros, and that by the time we get done with those, they include all the macros. You need to either count them as a category 4 or a 6. It wouldn't matter which, because that's going to control what you put with it. It's just you don't want to add category 3s or 5s to it because it's heavy in fat. Really, there's only 3 categories. Y'all realize that? If you're controlling your portion, there's only 3 categories. You could say you could almost get away. Now, you'll get better results by looking at all the categories. But I could give y'all a program where everything is either going in category, let's just call it protein, category protein. That wouldn't be right because of the fiber. We'll just say I could put every food on our list in category 1 as long as you knew the difference. You knew what went in category 3 and what went in category 5. Every other food that you portion control on a plate, you're not going to get a significant insulin spike. So category 1, category 2, category 4, category 6, category 7, none of those foods significantly spike insulin. The only reason we have all those categories is for people that want to lose it faster. But if we were talking about lifestyle, none of those categories, as long as I control the portion, will ever hurt you. Where you get in trouble is when you add 3s and 5s to the fats. Then you have a problem. So I have to know how to eat 3s and 5s. If I spot any kind of fat on that plate, whether naturally or added to it, I can't have the 3 and the 5. Carbohydrate and fats should not mix unless it's MCT fats. Does that make sense? Why is there no category 6 list in the challenge? Just to make it a challenge. I didn't feel like we needed peanut butter. Peanut
There's
butter.
Pantos on there.
Yeah, there's some on there. Most people want their peanut butter. And I think I might even put a recipe sandwich there, but just trying to make it a challenge rather than it be the complete program.
Brother Travis, I got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
On the detox for the challenge, you had shake recipes for the detox that you used the unsweetened almond milk and stuff like that. Would that be okay to use past this detox, or is that something we need to stay away from unless we're on the detox? Because I know it's a little different on the detox than it is regular days.
Yeah, your weight loss results are always going to be better with Fat-Free Fairlife or Kroger Carb Master. But since we're talking more about clean eating, using unsweetened almond milk with those recipes is fine too. But unsweetened almond milk is not really milk. It's just almond water. It's not, there's really no nutritive value. It's more people that want to eat clean. They don't want to drink Kroger Carb Master or Fat-Free Fairlife.
Yeah, I think this I got look at, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it don't have 1 gram of protein. So it's not real good, but
no, it's not. It's not as good for weight loss as Kroger Carb Master or Fat-Free Fairlife.
If
I
you're not
lost
in a
20
place,
pounds drinking them.
And if you get unsweet, y'all hear that? He lost 40 drinking those. If you get unsweet almond milk, just know that there's really, to watch the flavored ones because they're high in sugar. So you need to stick with unsweet almond. And if you need to add sweetener, then add your sugar-free chocolate syrup or add monk fruit. Don't buy the sweetened almond milks. Somebody else started to say something. I missed it.
on the GC Control shake recipes, if it calls for like some of them call for fat-free Fairlife milk, some call for Kroger Carb Master. I'm not in a place to get Kroger Carb Master. So can you substitute that for fat-free Fairlife milk?
You can, yeah. Fat-free Fairlife and Kroger Carb Master are always interchangeable.
Okay.
Don't get skim milk. Skim milk's just nothing but sugar water. And whole milk is even worse. It's fat plus sugar. Anybody else? Couple of things to note. We don't have enough text to text before every session. Like the other night, we only had a couple of people come to class because we weren't able to text. The classes are going on. You can find the classes in your events calendar on the website if you want to register for them. That way, if it's one of those classes I can't send a text, you still know how to get into the classroom. So don't forget that. At 12 o'clock, we're having our Faithfully Fit lesson. We're going to go back over again Lion and Shark Days for autoimmune issues, talk that through some more. And then, of course, next week, we'll launch a new topic for the Faithfully Fit members, another deep dive, a course. We'll let y'all pick the course at 12 o'clock. The first Faithfully Fit class is always free. And then if you like it, we just ask you to sign up for it. And those are, I think, if you're going to be on the wellness journey, high value. Karen, I was there for both Tuesday night. There was people with me. I'm not sure why it said the host was not there. Unless you come in really late, it may have been late, but I was live at 7 o'clock with one person, and we had a good time talking about nutrition for about an hour. And then at 8 o'clock, I was live with about 7 people. So we were there. I'm not sure what happened.
If it says the host wasn't there, I did the same thing, but I had clicked on an old link to get into class, and that link had expired. I guess it wasn't the right one to get where you were. So
Yeah.
that might have been what happened.
Yeah. And she said she got there before 8, and I probably was running a minute or two behind just because I was leaving a session. But yeah, you might want to just give me a minute or two to get there, and I'll be there. I didn't do this morning's because I'm using space heaters and it's really cold, and it just long story, but I need to get my room heated. So, anybody else?
Travis, I just want to say what I've done is the emails that you've sent out with the class times, I've saved those emails. So if I don't get a text, I just go to that email because I know when you're going to be on if I'm available, and I click join at the bottom and it takes me right to you. So that might help others and help you save cost as well.
Absolutely. And, I don't want anybody to take their name off the text because, this is how we make our living. I just want everybody to know, last year our budget for text was $2,000 a month, and we can't do that. We don't have it. So, hopefully we'll have it again one day and I can send out more text. But if we look at the schedule, I'm committed to that. The only problem is, I'm kind of a one-man band for a while. Got some great help, Lara and Lisa. But at the same time, things happen because I have a lot of responsibilities. But if I can't be there, I try to let folks know. But I'm trying my best to be consistent. We have, 3 more classes today that people can join if they couldn't make the 10:30. Anybody else?
Hey, Travis, it's Amanda. I have a random question.
All right.
My bank had to get me a new debit card, and so I have to update it on Shibboleth and Faithfully Fit. What do I do it? Can I do it on the website?
I think so. I need Lisa. Lisa's probably laughing. She's probably wanting to say, Travis does not know how to do any of that stuff. But Lisa or Lara knows how to do that. They'll train me if I ever get caught up.
I got an email because it tried to pull, and I got the new card, and I needed to update it. So
I appreciate that.
okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll reach out to them.
We really appreciate our Faithfully Fit folks. They make a way for us to do this. We couldn't do it if it weren't for them, and we try to give them high value. We're giving them a new meal planning feature. Some of y'all saw that last year before we had a reset of things. There's a lot of good things the Faithfully Fit members get and will continue to get. So thank y'all for being a part of that program. Anybody else? All right, we'll just close out in a quick word of prayer, say the Lord's Prayer, and then I'll see some of you in about 10 minutes. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. Y'all remember Brenda and Jim. They need you. She's in a bad way, so y'all remember Brenda. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.
Love you, brother.
Love you. Bye, everybody.